Yeah,
Is there a
punch
punch
list.
list?
Yeah.
I seen.
I mean, you know, you're a local company, we're a local
Right.
town. Nobody's trying to hurt one another here. We just want to make sure that if we do trust you with our next project, that we have the comfortability and the confidence of knowing that it's going to be done correctly, and we're going to have the opportunity to walk through it and say, hey, this isn't quite what we had in mind, or work with you on the project instead of just turning you loose and saying have a good time.
But that's at the conclusion of that project, it was all paid down. Wabash Utilities came back a time or two, they finally said, we spent the money, that's it, we're not coming back anymore. Whether the project were done or not, we've got curbs, or drop off from curb that high.
And
That's
Wabash
just-
was a sub through you?
No, they were supposed
No.
to be contract construction oversight though. I mean, Midwestern was supposed to be watching those guys, right?
Yeah.
Doing the inspection.
Yeah, and I mean, we had the walkthrough and we went over, you know, things that they were supposed to do, and
Right.
my understanding they had done those, what the town had asked them to do at that particular time.
Now, I walked through it, is there any follow-up to that to make sure that there are follow-through?
I didn't participate in the walkthrough.
No, that is a customary.
The engineering company that is overseeing it should probably not have let them draw all the way down until they completed everything
You know, Opal
to the
wrote
specs.
the final check without, as far as I know, without any authority from the board. I don't remember any.
And I thought that was, you know, agreed upon, so I
Yeah.
apologize for that if there was obviously some miscommunication there.
I think that's what State Board of Accounts is saying, be more involved, watch over
Right.
and things like that. Have
Right.
one person
Yeah,
designated.
definitely.
But the contractor they just finished out, and they just flat said, we're not coming back. They did for a while, which gave everybody, well, they're gonna come back and they're gonna finish it in the spring. That didn't happen. And we called them, well, we're out of money. Contract's all been spent. And we're sitting here with a pretty bad situation on Race Street.
We had one citizen trip over there, but
And no one seems to really care much about it. But it is a bad situation. It was not a well-engineered job, in my opinion. Federal dollars spent on sidewalks ought to be ADA compliant, I think. I think they'd rather you didn't.
Oh, and another thing you need to realize, that was not really a sidewalk project, it was a stormwater grant. The majority of the money we spent on actual stormwater. I think going into it, the idea was to get some curbs and some sidewalks, but it was mainly a stormwater project. So there was really limited to what we could do. We also had to stay within the existing right-of-way. So in order to do some of what I think needed to be done, we were gonna have to get it off of right-of-way, and slope some of that back, and that was talked about during the walkthrough. But, you know, it was kind of decided, well, you know, we can't really do that for every property, so,
Right.
Well, was there any else?
The contract says that if the town wishes to terminate us, that you have to notify them via certified mail, and then they are gonna invoice up to the work they've done. Now, it doesn't say why we're allowed to, or if they have any recourse. It doesn't say in here that they have any recourse, so I don't know what they would feel about it. I mean, they're not gonna be very happy, I can tell you that, and I wouldn't do it without talking to them. I mean, having them come down and talk about why they would.
Yeah, but at the time, we didn't know we had already had this, I mean,
Well,
This was total news to me. I didn't know we were committed to anything beyond.
I thought that was just asked to get information about, so we could provide it to Umball to do the rate study. Was that the reason why they asked?
well, and that was part of it. I mean, they used those cost estimates to be
I
able
thought
to
that was-
prepare the
Yeah,
scenarios.
I thought that was why they asked you to go and do that, was so give them that information.
Yeah, and, I mean, that was done.
Mhm.
I mean, you would just take it further and apply for the funding as well, so. Is there anything else? I'll get you what the original cost was Well, if there is, I mean, you guys can talk about it and just let us know.
I mainly wanna see right now if we can notify Triad and get out of that. I mean, out of the preliminary report. Cause I mean, unless I'm missing something here. Midwest did the main one in 2010. And they're gonna update it, this one, not to exceed $5,000 more, correct? So we're looking at $5,000 maximum. Triad's gonna charge us, what'd that say? 25. Now, that's a no-brainer to me. Even if we have to pay them 5 or 10 to get out of it, it's still gonna save money.
Triad was gonna do the income survey.
Yeah,
And
and-
part of the grant administration.
But that's two separate ones.
No, that's part of that contract. What was the additional cost? I don't even know if they were charging us for the income.
I thought the door-to-door income thing
The
was the one
income
separate
was
price.
3,200.
It was-
I knew it was around
Okay,
3,000.
It's 3,200, but, then, are they indicating in that other contract that they're gonna do the grant administration? The first one?
I was thinking,
No, this is the other one.
oh, I'm sorry, which one? The,
And the one that, I
The
think that,
grant
This one?
administration for the Okra area?
for any of it.
My understanding an engineering firm can't do grant administration for the Okra grant.
They're gonna prepare the PR, coordinate and
Yeah, I mean,
attend the public hearing to present the report, follow up and final approval of the document from the SRF. Prepare the application, SRF, which is something that you're trying to contract out. You're not doing that.
Prepare the application for SRF, yeah, we would.
Then what's SITC doing?
We do grant administration. You have to be a certified grant administrator to do the Okra grants.
Yeah, and they would prepare the application for the
Yes.
Okra grant.
And that is free of charge because the county pays into SIDC and we're part of it.
It's not free, there's $50,000 rear end loaded on that contract that he just had.
We
For
are
grant
free,
administration.
we are
And that's
free
not what
for,
he said a while ago.
we are free for grant application writing.
Right,
the
and
grant
then your grant
administration.
administration,
Right.
so nothing
If you
is really
receive-
free.
If you receive
the
it.
grant.
Which he said we charge typically 7 to 8% of the
yeah,
grant
I'd say
funds.
the maximum is 8% if we're in.
Right.
I didn't know.
So,
So,
Yeah, I don't wanna be a dead horse, but if there is anything else we can do, we'll give you the information, or if you got any questions, feel free to get a hold of me.
Well, I mean, I don't know if, is this gonna take a motion and vote for somebody, for Beth to get a hold of Triad, or?
No.
Just have her do it and see if we can, I mean, Rita suggested we at least call them and
Maybe a conference call, get the board member or two on.
you know, at the time we signed that, then I was not aware of this contract here with Brian Midwest.
Nope.
So, I mean, you know, if they start any services, I mean, we can see how much it's gonna be, but I think it'd still be cheaper to get out and let them do the preliminary. That's my opinion. What do you think, Mark?
It makes sense. Now, would we still want them to do the door-to-door? Or would we be taking that?
They don't do
too?
door-to-door, right?
So the door-to-door, they would still, that contract would still be at 32?
but we can
Yeah.
also do the income surveys. We will not do door to door.
Yeah, you guys do the mailers.
We will do the mailers,
Right.
and the only thing that we charge there is whatever our supplies are for the postage and the grade set of
Right.
paper.
but the way I understand it, mailing is, you hardly get, it really requires a lot of door-to-door.
I know, I
and mailing.
don't personally do that, but I have seen them in there that, you know, yes, if you don't get the mailings back, then you
Yeah,
could
and so
have to
then
go
you don't
door
have
to
a
door.
good survey.
And he had also, Greg had also indicated that if you choose the door-to-door, it needs to start right now.
Yes.
And they have already asked for
You
wastewater
really should
customers,
start
and they probably have already.
Right now anyway, because if you do the mailers and you don't get enough responses, then someone's gonna have to do the door-to-door, whether it be
Right.
someone outside the town or not, so, and that's really your first step in determining if you're eligible